Hello and welcome to my vlog. So this will be a book vlog, and I don't usually read that much. I do like to read though, and I'm trying to expand my horizon doing some summer reading because there is a program at my school that has summer reading, and there's like a bingo sheet, and so I'm going to try and fill that whole thing out as well as read some books that I just want to read myself. So I'm doing some Amazon book shopping. Let me give you a little tour. So we got One Last Stop, Always the Almost, A Snake Falls to Earth, I Was Born for This, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Less, and The Truth About Alice. Good morning. It is July 10th. It is the next day, and I'll be reading 2 more chapters of Great Expectations. I'm in my basement. This is a Barnes & Noble's haul. I always go to Barnes & Noble's to get manga, and that's why I have a Barnes & Noble's membership, because manga is expensive and I get a lot. I got the 3rd volume of Cat Massage Therapy because it finally came out after 5 years. And it's colored too, so it's really good. I really like this. It's just cute and fluffy. 3rd volume of Catch These Hands. I love this series, and I appreciate the author for finally coming out with volume 3. Komi Can't Communicate, I got 13 and 14. Then obviously I had to go to the young adult section because I never buy young adult from Barnes & Noble, so I wanted to try it out. And I got They Both Die at the End. They both die at the end, so you know, I might cry. Then obviously this caught my eye. I love books like these, so you know, and the text is nice and big because it's young adult. Yeah, that's the whole haul. And now I will continue reading this book, Red, White, and Royal Blue. It is so good. I was reading it when I had breaks in between my ice skating sessions, and oh my god, I could not put the book down. I didn't want to put it down. I'm only at page 37, but it's so good and I want to keep reading it. So, I mean, that's saying something. is the end of the vlog, final book review of all the books I read over the summer. So first I'm going to start off with books that I read that I don't have in person or I didn't finish. So these two I didn't finish because I'm in a book group for these two books and we're going slow and we're going like chapter by chapter and stuff like that, so I didn't finish them over the summer. They're hard books, you know, they're like written in difficult language, but they're good books. I'm also not going to summarize them because I don't really feel like summarizing those books. And then I read Borrow My Heart. I'm going to put a picture of it here. I didn't buy it. I read it online and I used a website that my school uses that I can like borrow books and like read them online. I gave the book 3.25 stars because I didn't like the plot twist is why. Like it was going good so far and you know the drama, the banter was okay. I would have given it 4 stars, but then there was the plot twist and it really threw me off. And then at the ending, like it was good, but it just made me feel like something was wrong. Like I didn't like the ending either. Like even though it was a good ending, I didn't like it. But basically, Borrow My Heart, this is really testing my memory. Borrow My Heart is about this girl. She works in a cafe and there's this guy who walks in and is trying to meet his online girlfriend, and because he's been texting her online for a really long time, and his friend who is with him keeps saying that she's a catfish and not real and that she's not gonna show up. So then the main character who's at the cafe is like, ugh, I need to stop this. So she pretends to be the girl who is the online girlfriend, and then it goes from there, right? I'm not going to tell you any more than that. That's basically the book blurb. So basically it goes from there, right? You can see the banter and like how all that unfolds, but I just didn't like the plot twist and the ending. So that's why I give it 3.25 stars. Then, next to the amazing book that I read, Red, White, and Royal Blue. And I also watched the movie and it was so good. The movie was so good, honestly. Like, I'm really glad they didn't change too much. And they did change a lot, but I feel like it was necessary because like if it wasn't, they would have to make it like a 4-hour movie, or it would have been like a series of episodes. This book was really good. It's about the son of the first woman president and Prince Henry, the Prince of England. And it's basically like their like love story. Alex doesn't really like Henry, and you figure out why in the book. The movie doesn't do that good of a job of showing why Alex doesn't like Henry. But then they get into an accident and they need to pretend to be friends. So it's kind of like fake dating, but it's like fake friendship. And then it's like friends to lovers, because it says Alex finds himself hurtling into a secret romance with Henry, and this is Henry. And so there's a lot of stakes because they're like world leaders basically, and they're gay. So it's like there's a lot of stakes, you know? Like a prince can't be gay. So it's like the book was so good. Like I usually don't like high stakes, because I like fluffy romance, yay, happy, you know, but like this was like a really good balance in between. The only thing is if you don't like spice, then don't read this book because there's a lot of spice. But besides the spice, which I did skip over a few of the spice scenes, but it was really good book overall, and it really explores their characters and really represents LGBTQ really nicely. So I really like this book. I gave it 6 stars, which means it's just better than 5 stars. Eleanor and Park, and this was an okay book. It had a lot to live up to. This girl and this boy and their love story. It is a very sad book. I felt like it was a little unrealistic, but I feel like it is realistic. I feel like I was just really detached from the characters, so I gave it a 3.75 stars, which isn't even that bad. So I still recommend you read this. It's really good. But I was just really detached from the characters. I didn't feel connected, and I also just read like the best book I've ever read, so this had a lot to live up to. We have I Was Born for This, and this book, I thought I would really like this. They were the writer of Heartstopper, and I loved Heartstopper. This book felt like a fan fiction written on Wattpad. Like, I don't know, I don't want to like be mean, but it literally did feel like that because it just felt super, super, super unrealistic. It's about a band. This guy meets this girl, and it's like it switches perspectives. Like Eleanor and Park switches perspectives between the two people. This switches perspectives between this person and this person. It's like kind of a love story, but it more explores the idea of fame and like how fame can really get to you. But I just like couldn't connect to the character at all. Like he has terrible anxiety and stage fright and all these things, but it's like I just couldn't really connect. There is a lot of LGBTQ representation in here too. This girl also had a side plot with some other things, and I just couldn't connect to either one because I was like in between in like a limbo. If this story was just about this guy or just about this girl, it would have been really good. But because it was two different stories at the same time and then they connected, it just didn't really work. Like some stories work really good when it's two different people and connect. I gave it 3.25 stars, same as Borrow My Heart. Then we have Less. So this book was actually really good. I really liked it. I gave this one 4 stars. It explores old age, feeling helpless, and getting over like an ex and like someone you like spent your whole life with. This guy is a novelist, and he isn't very famous, and it's him basically trying to avoid his ex's wedding by accepting a bunch of invitations to literary events to win like small prizes, and he travels around the world, and each time he travels to a new place he finds something new about himself. So I really like this book. I really liked how it was formatted. The language is a little bit more difficult, but it was still really good, and I really like that it explores old age because like I'm not old, so like I don't really know. Like a lot of books that are written young adult are like they're all teenagers, but I love that this was about a guy who was in his 40s, or well, he turns 50 in the book. But yeah, it was a really good book. I gave it 4 stars. The only reason why I didn't give it like higher was because I didn't really like the ending. I felt like he went through this whole like self-discovery just for the ending to happen, so it could have been better. But I do want to read the sequel because I'm really interested in his story, and the sequel is Less is Lost. His name is Les, by the way. So yeah, I read The Truth About Alice, and this book was so good. It explores the idea of slut shaming and women problems, which I really liked about this book, and it's very short. It's just 200 pages. I gave this book 4 stars. The only reason why I didn't give it more was also because the ending felt like there could have been more. I feel like ending really represents the whole book as a whole well. I just personally didn't really like it. This book is about a girl. There's rumors spread about her, and she gets called a slut, and you don't hear from her point of view, but you hear from like 5 other people's point of view, which I also really like because that shows like the rumor side of it. You never get to hear about her point of view until the very end. It's just the ending that kind of threw me off. It's A Snake Falls to Earth. This is fantasy, and this kind of explores wildlife, global warming, and like extinction, and like how we're treating animals. There are 2 different characters written in 2 different switching perspectives. One's a human and one's a cottonmouth snake. And there are snake people, there are animal people. So there's animal people living on one side of the reflecting side of Earth, and then humans. And they used to live joined together, but then there was a war that separated them. And this is a story, a human meeting a cottonmouth. So it's 2 different people meeting each other. So I actually read a lot of those books, actually, I just realized. But I gave this book 4 stars. It was really good. I just feel like it wasn't 5-star material because the writing was so, like, every once in a while kind of threw me off, but the the whole gist of it was really good. So I just gave it 4 stars. It wasn't 5-star material because I didn't like feel like, wow, this was such a good book, you know? Book that I forgot to mention, all the books just fell over, is that I read a book from my library that I borrowed, and it was called Ode to a Nobody, and this was a kid's poem book, and it's about this girl who survives like a really bad hurricane, and it basically like changes her life. And I think it's a really good book for kids, but I feel like it wasn't really for me. But sometimes I do like reading kids books because they're really simple and they get kind of straight to the point. The only thing that I didn't really like about it was that there was like a last minute like thing that I didn't like. So it was just kind of out of nowhere, and I didn't really like that. I liked where it was going until that point. 3.75 stars, same as Eleanor and Park, because it just wasn't really oomph, you know? Thank you for watching this vlog, and I hope you go read some books too. Stay safe, everyone, and have fun reading. And go check out my back to school vlog if it's out.